Hey guys, Lyra Linx here. I haven't filmed in a while, and I think it's pretty obvious why. I feel like I say every video, like, hey, sorry that I haven't uploaded. I've been going through college stuff, but a while back I said that I wanted to make a college update video, and I've really been wanting to do it and talk about it, but I feel like things just kind of come in their own time, and now I'm not doing so well, and that almost inspired me more to want to talk about things that are going on. I've I've been wanting to make YouTube videos for a while. In class, sometimes I just sit down and I write out ideas that I have for videos that I want to make, and I really do want to make them, but I procrastinate, and because I'm kind of going through a tough time and I constantly have a lot of work to do, it's just been hard to be able to do anything for me, almost, let alone make videos. I feel like I have to force in time for myself in any given day, and sometimes it's just kind of depressing. So I'm sorry that this video is just going to be kind of a ranting video, but honestly, these are some of the videos that mean the most to me, where I can just sit and be completely honest instead of just trying to put up a front. There are a lot of good things about college this year, and I want to talk about good things, but I also want to keep it completely 100 and let you guys know how I'm doing for real, for those of you who actually watch my videos out there and care. It means a lot to me, those of you that do care, because it's one of my passions. And in a way, making videos like this and just talking things out, even if it's all by myself, it just kind of helps me get a feel for things. And venting is really helpful to do. So, anyway, I forget what week we're in. I feel like it has to be at least a 5 week point. But yeah, I haven't been here for forever yet, obviously, but it is getting closer to the sort of halfway-ish point already, and that's kind of crazy for me to think about. Because I'm in a Spanish course, and it's a 7 week course, and then I have a second 7 week course that we do. So, like, basically, when my Spanish class ends is when I know the middle will be, and so there are only a couple more weeks for that. And that's honestly kind of terrifying. Because that means that there's going to be a lot of work to come really soon, and I already feel very overwhelmed by the amount of work that I have here. And it means that I'll have to like get used to a different style of Spanish. But I don't know. But let me start with talking about some of the positives of this year. I was really nervous to have another roommate. I all last year I was really nervous about this too, and I thought that like, oh, I have like 3 roommates. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna hate me or something, or we won't get along. But I really liked all of them, and I think that they were great roommates. I just think that I myself am not always a good roommate, so I was nervous for this year because I'm just the type of person. I'm a real night owl, so I like to go in and out at night and do my own thing. And I don't like to stay in the dorm a lot. I go out and explore. I go out and find friends. And so, like, I don't always interact with the people I'm living with, which might be a bad thing to some people, and I don't want them to take that the wrong way. But yeah, I also don't like to wake anybody up or annoy anybody, but I feel like I kind of do that just because I'm like an in and out type of person. But my roommate is really nice, and we're able to talk and get along pretty decently, and we have some similarities and so on, so that makes me pretty happy because it kind of like alleviates the fear of having a really terrible person around. The only thing that I'm worried about is just me being the one who is an annoyance. And also sometimes, like, because I have some comparison issues, she seemed like, I know that she struggles too, and it's unrealistic to think this, but she just like presents herself really well, and she seems like a really responsible person, so it makes me feel kind of like more irresponsible, because I like to nap a lot because I get so exhausted being here, and sometimes I use it as a coping mechanism too when I'm sad. Um, you can't really feel anything when you're asleep. I don't have to consciously deal with things, so sometimes I just take a nap. And that helps with irritability sometimes too, because I do stay up late and then I have morning classes. But like I said, I'm a night owl, so that is a problem that I have. I also have insomnia oftentimes, even on nights where I do try to go to sleep legitimately. So that's really hard in college because honestly, no one really gets good sleep here. I was actually really shocked the other day because I heard some girls talking in choir, and I guess there's this one girl in the class who always somehow manages to get 12 hours of sleep every day. And I don't know how she can finish anything or like stay asleep for that long without like wrestling around or like having nightmares and like all this other stuff that I deal with because that's insane to me. So it's hard because I don't sleep well, and then I try to sleep in the day, and that doesn't help out my schedule at all. And it gets rid of the time during the day that I could be doing work. Honestly, like, even though I really like my classes, I love English. I love being able to learn more and write better. So I like doing the reading that we are and this and that. I love the poetry. All of that part is beautiful. And with Spanish, I love learning new words and expanding that vocabulary. And I like being able to communicate effectively and all. But those are really the two classes I felt incredibly discouraged in, which is a shame because I'm double majoring in English and Spanish. Those two are kind of like my classes of sanctuary to feel better and be talented in, but I don't know why, but today in particular I just felt really discouraged. Um, I really struggled with figuring out the past tense in Spanish for whatever reason last year. And this year I'm doing better with it, but I guess I'm still not fully there. I'm kind of nervous because she collected our homework today looking at packets. I think she just was grading based on if we did it or not, but I'm not really sure. She pointed out to me that I used the preterite instead of the imperfect for past tense, and I was supposed to write using the imperfect. So I guess I didn't really understand that as well as I thought I did. So I've been kind of stressed out because tomorrow I have a TA talk, like talking in Spanish with the teacher's assistant for a grade using the imperfect to like describe things from my childhood and family and this and that. And we also have a quiz on it the following day on Friday. So it's just been a lot because for her to point out that I did that wrong and have my name be one of the names she called to like stay after class for like a second just so she could point that out, it still makes me like anxious. And it's always hard being in a language class because there are people that should be there because they're at your same level. And then there are people that should be in a higher level course, but for some reason they are there. And it makes me feel bad when people know so much more than I do. And that's really hard, and I struggle with that. And I feel the same way in English because the professor will point out people that he thinks are really great writers, and he'll say, like, they are exactly where they need to be. But then when I'm pointed out, even though it's also supposed to be in a positive light, he's like, these are the people who are almost there. And it makes me feel bad that I'm not there. I'm almost there. So I don't know why, but that hit me really hard today. And just like looking at assignments he gave back and seeing that I got B's on these one-page writing assignments that we did when I was actually trying really hard and thought that it was better than that is like not what he wants necessarily. It's just like, oh, guess I should work harder. We also have an essay coming up. I have like 3.25-ish pages of it done out of 5. He liked the ideas that I had and all, but I've just felt really depressed and unmotivated because things haven't exactly been going as I want necessarily here. I have friends that I'm able to see every day, and they're awesome. But at the same time, sometimes it's easy to compare to other people around me, even my friends, and just feel really bad. And, there are lots of people I could talk to here. There are counselors, there's the chaplain that I could talk to, and I want to do that. But I also feel like I don't have the time to do that, and that sucks. Even like my choir, even in choir, I feel like it's something that was so fun for me. I love singing so much, but we're doing these Mozart movements, and there's like 68 pages of just singing in Latin and figuring everything out. And it's just so much to take in. And he's like, oh, you're college students, you can do this. And it's so much. It's getting better day by day. I like how things sound more and more every day. But it's very frustrating also every day to feel like I have to work so hard to be where I want to be. And I feel like choir, the homecoming concert was just so much easier. All the words were in English. There were a couple familiar songs. Even the songs I didn't know, they were kind of like inspirational and felt good to sing and just had a beautiful message, so that was easier. But this is just different. And finally, I have a math course. They always put me in accelerated math courses in school, and I always felt like I probably shouldn't be there. I ended up still getting decent grades, for the most part. But it's the subject that I probably struggle with the most. And I'm here at a liberal arts college, so I decided to take liberal arts mathematics because I'm so done with statistics and algebra, geometry. I don't want to do that anymore. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I took what I thought would be the easiest possible math course. And I don't even know how to explain this kind of math. Our textbook is called For All Practical Purposes Mathematics or something like that. And it's just so strange and different. So, like, I understand most of it, but there are actually no people on campus that can tutor for that specific class. So you either have to talk to classmates or talk to the professor, and I don't really like that. I think it's so stupid because I always tell people that they shouldn't do things on their own, but I hate help. I hate getting help. I hate asking for help. I'm so used to doing things on my own. When I was a kid, my parents would help me with homework and this and that, but eventually there was a point where they couldn't help with as much anymore. And so for me, it was just like looking things up in the book or looking things up online and watching videos, and I'd figure it out by myself. And if I couldn't figure it out by myself, I guess I couldn't figure it out at all. I ended up doing better on my exam than I thought I would. I kind of struggle with anxiety, and I get test anxiety pretty bad. If I get too frustrated, then it gets to a point where I want to start crying, and I have to hold that in because I'm not gonna like burst out into tears in a room full of people taking a test, because that's weird. That's like stupid to me. I don't want to do that. So I ended up making some dumb mistakes, and I feel like I could have gotten an A instead of a B, but that's what I got, and I've got a B in the course overall right now, which is not bad. But I am a very perfectionistic person, probably just because of how I was raised and pushed to always do well, and I felt like if I didn't do well, that I was kind of like failing. So like, I guess a B is kind of like somebody's C or D to me in a way. And that's really dumb. That's super dumb. I shouldn't think that, but I do. And college is really hard. So especially in college, you should not expect to be getting the same grades as you did in high school, because that's completely unrealistic, but I still try. I still want to be that good student. There are a lot of people, for whatever reason, that look up to me, and so I feel like I want to set an example, and it's really hard, because basic, I'm not exactly all alone here. Like, my parents are 15 minutes away. My grandma lives right in town. There are people I can obviously talk to, so I'm not alone. But at the same time, I don't like to rely on that because college is kind of the process of figuring out who you are and strengthen yourself and working to become an adult. And I don't feel like I'm a very good adult. I'm a very disorganized person. I procrastinate a lot. Like, I procrastinate even on my homework when I know that I should do it. And I procrastinate even on things I like doing, like making videos. I'm like, oh yeah, now would be a good time to make this video. And I just don't do it. And I don't know why I don't. I just like sit down and listen to music or something instead. And I don't do the things that I want to do. It's kind of crazy too, because I feel like unless you completely force out time for yourself, you don't have any time in college. My roommate and I actually tried to calculate how much time we would have left over for ourselves if we actually like used the recommended study times the school has. It says that for each class every day, I don't know if it's you should study or there should be work for this amount of time. I don't know if they count homework in with this amount of time, but I think they say that you should like study for 3 to 4 hours per class every day. And so I'm pretty sure we just calculated what that time would mean for like our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday courses. But we tried to factor in like, suppose we get 8 hours of sleep, which is completely unrealistic in a college setting. Suppose we get 8 hours of sleep. And we factor in a little bit of getting ready time in the morning and for meals. Like, those are the only two outside things that we factored in for. Getting ready, meals. The rest of it, we put in our class time, which is an hour on Monday, Wednesday, Friday per class. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, the classes are actually longer because, you only get the Tuesday and Thursday period in a week, so those are an hour and a half. So, it kind of depends on the day. So for both of us, we have 2 classes and then choir, so that's another 3 hours out of our day. And then we tried to factor in like the 3 to 4 hours of studying. Suppose we do the minimum amount of studying and like classwork. And let's suppose that it doesn't take any longer for you to do the work than that, especially on days with essays. Like, you're just grinding forever on those. And there's some work that requires so much more time than what would normally be allotted. You'll have 2 hours left to yourself throughout the day if you completely devote all the time that they say that you should to studying. We will have 2 hours left in the day to do our own personal things. And to me, that's like, whoa. 2 hours goes by really fast when you're doing what you actually want to, and then it just like drags doing all that other stuff. And that's only if we do like the minimum amount of studying time. If we try to do more than that, then we're going to have -1 hours of time left for ourselves. That seems incredibly ridiculous to me. The amount of work that they expect here and the amount of workload that they put on their students is so stressful. Like, my English professor, because he knows we're trying to focus hard on this essay, is trying to like cut down on the reading that we have to do and the outside writing. But even still, writing takes time. Even if it's a page response, if you want to put out something of substance, it's still going to take you some time to look through, to quote, to like make an argument. And I would argue that because it's like such a small thing and you have to be so concise, it's like harder and you have to like think a little bit harder. Um, and it takes a little bit more time because if you actually want to make something that's coherent and intelligent, then you're gonna take more time to do that. When it comes to a 5-page paper for me, it's almost easier to get out ideas in a way because I can just go, 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 go. I don't have to worry about saying a lot in such a small space. I can say everything that I want to in like a large space, and that's a little more comforting to me. Although I have not been in the right headspace to write this essay, to be honest, with how things are going with people in my life, friends, this and that. It's been hard to focus, so I haven't really done any more work on my paper than like the 3¼ pages I have. So yay. I have a huge workload to do. It's been a lot. So that's basically how college is going for me. I try to add extra time to be with friends, and sometimes it cuts into my sleep schedule. I try to make sure that my assignments are done, but sometimes it's just so much, and I don't always feel encouraged by people. I don't think the professors mean to. They're trying to point out the things that I'm doing wrong so that I can fix it, right? And that's a good thing, but when you are so stressed out and exhausted and just trying your hardest and you hear the criticism, it's a lot harder to take. So, I obviously want to be stronger from it and make those corrections and do well. But it's really so much. College is a whole different adventure. I would argue that if you go to college, it'll be one of the most stressful periods of your life, besides like maybe first going out into the adult world and finding a job. Because like here, you're expected to be an adult while also being treated like a child, because you still have a lot to learn. And in a college setting, I feel like you don't really still get the full life experience. You're living in a dorm. You're not living in a house paying bills, besides student loans, which are also completely ridiculous and costly. And another reason why I'm so stressed out with college is because I have to go to work every weekend to be able to ever afford being here. My goal is to try to pay off my personal student loans before the end of college, which is possible only if I continue to work my ass off constantly. And then my parents will still be in crippling debt, and that's also something that makes me feel guilty and pressured because I want to do well here so that their money and my money isn't wasted. And I think that I'm going to do that and I'm going to do great things, but I've also had doubts about my career choice. I'm worried that I'm not going to learn enough, even of the Spanish language, by the end of this 4 years to really be able to be a translator. There's so much work, so much more work I'd have to do, especially because I haven't started learning more languages yet like I want to. So that's just something. But it's also kind of a good thing that I'm double majoring because I have a lot of options in the English field. And that's something my boyfriend's brought up to me. He thinks that I'm a good editor. I used to really want to be an editor. That was originally what I was thinking about doing, but I was nervous that I wouldn't make enough money or be able to get off the ground or something doing that. I also really like writing. If I could be an author, I would do that. I've always wanted to write my own novel. I just never, I'm never satisfied with anything enough to make a full book out of it. Maybe I should practice with short stories. I've also debated publishing poetry, but I don't know if that would sell either. Because publishing, you have to put a lot of money into it. So if I'm not going to get profit out of it, then that might not be a good idea for me yet. But who knows? Poetry is kind of like my sanctuary in college. there's so much stuff going on, and that's one of the only ways I'm able to express myself really well here. I just write a lot of poetry when I'm down, or I like doing artistic things, and I just kind of wish that that's what I could be doing. Like, I'm kind of jealous of people who are in new media studies or filmmaking because I love videos. I like things that are artistic. I want to express myself. I love to draw and make videos and sing and write because I'm able to show who I am through it and just be real and express myself. And college, I thought it would be a really good way to express myself, and in certain ways it is because I'm able to give speeches, write essays, and give my opinions. But it's also very stifling because if you go to a college where everyone is not like-minded to you, everyone here is like on a completely different political spectrum than me. They have completely differing like morals from me. This is a very religious school, like it's supposed to be, but there are like so many atheistic people here. And, I have my own personal beliefs, and it seems like everything that I think is not what these people think. And so that's hard because I don't want my voice to be stifled, but I'm also afraid to speak up. That's one of the things that we're actually reading about in English right now. Don't be afraid to start some controversy or disagree with somebody, because that's where some of the best writing can come from and inspire you. When you disagree and you want to show your ideas and your point, and that's really what I need to do more of. I just need to do my very best and be happy with my very best here. College is a struggle, and if you're going to go to college, then I wish you the very best. You really need to study a lot, find a good group of people that you can rely on. It's a whole adventure, but by the end of this, I hope that I'm going to be a better person. And I think that I've grown in many ways, even from just last year. I guess I was even more anxious, so yay, glad that people noticed that. My advisor slash English professor said that he thought that I seemed like I was scared of my own shadow last year, is kind of how he put it. And so I kind of gained more ground from then. And now my goal is kind of to get rid of the stigmas and labels that people have about me. Because I feel like everybody thinks that I am this one thing, that like I'm quiet or can't be a leader or this and that. And I want to show what I really feel like I am and not be afraid to express that anymore. Anyway, I feel like this video has gotten very long and I don't want it to be completely depressing. Even when I am writing depressing poetry, I usually end up giving it a happy ending because even though it's very cliche, I don't, for one reason, I don't like people worrying about me, but secondly, I think that everything will get a fair ending at some point. I know that I'm not going to feel like this forever. Probably tomorrow I'll feel very stupid about my anxieties from tonight. My math homework. I bet I'll figure it out in class tomorrow when he explains it himself instead of just having tried to figure it out from the book. Like, I know that that's going to help me. And I know that I have tomorrow to finish the things that I didn't feel good enough to finish today. And there's still time to do that. But most importantly, I just want to be able to stay true to myself. And so I don't want to be afraid to fight with people anymore if I don't agree with them. Because I'm a writer, yay, I'm going to stand up and defend my viewpoints. And I hope that I can pave out time to make videos. Because there are so many subjects that I want to talk about. I love my videos where I just choose a topic and I rant on about it. I've kind of wondered I don't know if anybody feels this way. Like, words are very important to me, and I try to speak my mind and hopefully inspire or relate to others. I've always thought that, like, maybe I could give speeches or something. I don't know if, like, can you make a career out of, like, I guess there are motivational speakers, so yeah, but I kind of want to make motivational videos and honest videos. I like videos like the one I did talking about depression and anxiety. I like the one I did talking about perfectionism. And I've had an idea to talk in a video about jealousy, about this, that. I want to talk about topics and dive into them and motivate others or show how I relate to others and like talk about the ugly and the beautiful parts of being human and getting through this experience. So those videos honestly don't get as many views, but they satisfy me more personally. So I'm gonna mix those in with the videos that do get views because it's not just about the views. As much as I really, really want more subscribers and views, I really want to put my message out to those who will listen more, even if it's 2 people. So I guess there's it for you. There are good things about college. I'm really excited that I get to learn so many different things, and I've been really touched and inspired by certain things that I've seen and read here. I had a really good night last night, marching through the rain and venting about feelings with a friend. And those are the nights that I live for and will continue to live for. So thank you for watching. I would really love to see you in another video. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Let me know what you'd like to see maybe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.